Hello, good morning and welcome. And it's Monday morning and it's that build up to Christmas this week. So lots of high energy. And what we know is that it was the full moon yesterday. So last night, lots of light streaming in through the window if you've had your window open, and also Saturday night. You may have just suddenly found yourself looking up to it, particularly if you're getting more and more tuned into the energies. You'll often find yourself drawn to notice the moon and be attracted by it. And from what I've gleaned and what I'm seeing and feeling and sensing, this full moon, it's called the cold moon, and it's very transformational. It's at the end of the year. It brings a beautiful gift of lots of celebration energies, which is highly brilliant if we're going to be going out socializing a lot. And so it's been a nice one to bask in and feel the sense of that energy in a really positive way, because it's definitely enlivens. I've definitely had my what can become quite typical sort of a lack of sleep needs in this time. And that can lead to feelings of depravity. So it depends how we wish to view it and how we feed on those emotions. Which brings us to our subject of today, which is, again, these sessions are very much about transcending our emotional experience. And what I've gleaned, I'm back now from Istanbul and Şanlıurfa, and I'm looking forward to sharing that over the coming weeks and months as I delve into those learnings and teachings and share them in different ways. But yeah, for sure, it's very expansive in the way it stretches my understanding and my knowledge of things. And you'll each be going through your own versions of big adventures of sorts with whatever's going on for you in your life. And since coming back, I've also recognized a lot of old patterns coming up for healing, and some of them, that I hadn't been aware of before. And as a Reiki master, that's pretty typical, because we're always bringing in high frequencies when we do our self-healing and leaning into our healing. So, that will often trigger new areas that we haven't maybe seen of ourselves before. So just to share a little bit of what these meditations are doing and helping us with on our Mondays and when we tune into Reiki, the feeling is often, and particularly this cold moon, this kind of lends us a little bit of an excuse for why this is happening and a bit of a rationale for it, because I know I felt quite a lot of relief when I recognized that it wasn't, that the timing of things wasn't just because, I was being punished in some way. It is literally how when we're attuned to nature and attuned to the moon, and even if we're not, these things can affect us quite powerfully, because this particular moon is drawing out. It's the Gemini moon, so it's drawing out all of our aspects of balance and helping us to find that unity within. So how that can look like is, the things that, so fears around how you show up and around your self-worth, and how you choose to show up in that through the challenges that you're facing at the moment. Might have felt somewhat discomfort around situations. And of course, when that discomfort is there, it takes us out of our slightly more deeper level sense of inner peace that's always there to tap into, that total connection to light where it's just all peaceful and calm. And it can lift us up into the higher realms of the emotional spectrum, where things are all a little bit more uncomfortable. And so, with awareness of that as the process is going on within us, we can then tap in and experience that and try to own it in more peaceable ways and transmute it. So that discomfort, of course, can create triggers. So whereas we might usually be consistent with everything that's coming at us and like, yes, I process release, when we're in that slightly more heightened state, particularly around this moon, we may find ourselves more easily triggered by those around us. So at that point, it's about recognizing those triggers and ensuring that we release the emotion that comes up, because that's really healthy. If there's emotion wanting to come out, we can do that. But it's about not allowing that to be projected onto others, other people, other things, other items. So it's like, okay, as much as I'm sensing that this is what's happening and I want to react and lash out here, I need to go off and process this and feel it for myself and experience what it is, and then have the conversation in a nice way if there's still stuff to be done, or see how I want to show up in that space that's going to help. Now, obviously, that's easy enough in some situations, but much tougher in the home life. And that's the reality of 3D living. 3D meaning our physical reality, in our homes and with the people that we love. They're the ones which trigger us, have the potential to trigger us the most, and where we are most likely to release some of these emotional things. And sometimes that's really healthy too. So what we can do about that is a couple of different things. One of them is obviously allowing ourselves to release that and recognizing it. The second thing is to, rather than hearing the voice that's telling you the negative stuff, hear it, observe it, right, but not acting on it. Think, okay, right, that sounds like a negative belief to me. Okay, right, so where's that coming from? Oh gosh, okay, actually the reason I'm wanting to yell is because this massive feeling of discomfort within me, or the reason I'm wanting to cry is, oh my God, it feels so heavy. Whatever it is that's showing up within your body, or even just a milder version of those things, that's where we can then, we choose to sit and just feel the sensation of those things, we can allow them to pass through us, because they don't last so long. Now, they might be a bit of a recurrent loop and come back to us, but we can let them pass by observing and sitting with them, and with love. And that's what the Reiki helps us to do too. Now, the other thing about it is that because we've recognized the belief, we've sat with the emotion and then, or the sensation, because it's only an emotion if we choose to label it as something. The actual bit of the recovery from fallout can be a lot quicker, because what we'll often then do is go into victimhood around the belief system and go, oh, why me? It's so unfair. It's working so hard. I need to get this. And it's like, oh, okay, hang on again. Where's this coming from? And it's like, okay, how do I shift that now into the warrior energy, which is the empowered aspect of that? So it's like, okay, hang on, I can really hear this negative belief and think is leading me to deeper negative beliefs about my own circumstance. And of course, we create our reality. So again, it's bringing our sense down to the sacral chakra, that space of creation, and helping to release fear and helping to bring in the light and channel that into those fear areas, so that we can overcome and transcend the stuff that appears so heavy. And that way we just slowly and surely shift the external reality that we're seeing. So to put that into a sort of way of practical context today, and to expand a little bit more on the Gemini energy, we've got our Gemini today acting like in the physical. We've got our 3D physical Gemini. That's how we're showing up with the sensations of being human. And then we've got our 5D, i.e. the etheric, the version of our own Gemini that's kind of in the ether around us, that's kind of bringing us in either the negative beliefs or the positive alignment with the source energy. So what we're aiming to do in today's session is just tapping into, because it's the Gemini full moon, in case that wasn't clear, tapping into that full moon energy to help to rebalance our Geminis above, below, within, without, to kind of bring that sense of unity within, so that we can get back to our center, back to our rebalancing space. And why we're doing it now today is because we're recognizing that we can work with nature's cycles to assist and empower our healing along with Reiki. So that's the explanation of what we're going into. So now we'll just be quiet and go within. Being quiet, by that sensation, I mean, we're going to just take a deep breath and give ourselves permission to pause. Just letting go of, just mentally now, letting go of anything you're in the middle of, when you come into a meditative state and meet this space, you can often be full of the external things, the 3D physical reality stuff that we've just left. Getting kids to school, dealing with issues that have come up, having moved through loads of triggers to get to this space. So it's important that we just disconnect from all of that. So literally see yourself putting down things, switching off, cutting any cords with phones and concerns that are outer worldly at this point. Anything that is not part of your inner landscape now. And just give yourself permission to surrender from. Cutting all cords and bonds. You can even use your hands to slice through the air. You can ask Archangel Michael to come in and cut those off so that you get into your center. And as we connect, we can now invite the light of Reiki, the beautiful light of the Holy Fire Reiki, which is this empowering ancient energy, comes from the holy fires, very beginnings of time, that energy that connects us to our primordial selves, essences. We knew how to transmute and work with fire to bring life and positive creation. Let that holy fire energy lift as the frequencies flow down to your crown chakra. Gently bringing that light to fill up your body. And as the light of the holy fire slowly permeates down through into your every cell, it brings with it all of the light codes, the learnings and the teachings that you need to experience, sense, feel, know, integrate right now. And you can just place one hand on your heart chakra if you feel drawn, if that's comfortable for you. On one hand on your belly. And feeling that holy fire energy, that Reiki, entering your heart, bringing in a sense of expansion. Know that any celestial bodies that work and help and support you can also come now. And you can ask those that are working for your highest good to join you. And you may even get a sense of them around you as you become more in tune with the frequencies of your own etheric energy field. And as this energy works to raise the frequency of your heart chakra to the energies of these celestial gifts, call in the light of the full moon, the cold moon, the Gemini moon, the moon that's conjunct with Jupiter for celebration. And we recognize those frequencies within our light codes. And we feel these coming up through the soles of our feet. Coming in through the elementals, nature's gifts, the gifts that come with our presence on planet. The gifts that come from being a human being. And we're incarnate, literally sitting in the meat of our bodies, the physicality. We can work to draw up these deep earthly energies that are the highest frequencies available on planet. And feel the sensations of those rising up to bring the healing, the balance that's available on the planet this time. And you will be drawing on the moon energy along with any positive frequencies that are on the energy lines that lie near you or sacred sites. Wherever you're connecting, any aquifers of water that lie beneath will help bring the stillness. Any of the earthly life forms that support and work in the ether with those nymphs and the sprites and the fairies, to bring that magic to you now. And together we have our Earth Gemini twin mixed with our celestial Gemini twin, moon and the earth, our higher self and our physical self, merging and feeling that frequency coming down deep into your belly. And you can do our wonderful circling that we've learned to do in these sessions, just moving one hand, the hand that's on your belly, slowly round, just stirring up that mix, energetic mix in your body. These just really, you can stir or you can stay still. Feel the frequency that's needed for you personally. The tissues around your belly will be holding it'll be storing energies that you've created in the past. So it's really nice when we gently smooth and rub our bellies to stir those up a bit, to release them, letting them melt away into the frequencies of the Holy Fire Reiki as it permeates the layers, lifting them out into ether to be transmuted. Sometimes our negative beliefs and fears are stored in our body, oftentimes. And this is a great way to acknowledge that and intend that they leave. So that our physical body becomes a more powerful reflection of our etheric body, literally bringing heaven to earth. Your heaven, your higher self, to your physical self. And as you feel the light of Reiki fill you up, and this essence, pure love, of the holy fire fill up your belly, drawing together your higher self and your physical self. There's two twins in this cold winter moon. So allow that expansion to begin to emanate outwards. This unity within to bring unity without. Watch as that energy, whatever color it may be and appear to you, start to spread out into the area around you, Feeling your shoulders relax as you let go into the flow and let that flow pass out around the world, slowly encompassing every inch of the planet, watching it go across your geographical map until the entire globe is filled with that energy, both in and out. And the world is now wrapped in a beautiful shield of your love and light, your highest frequencies, the highest frequencies of the holy fire, and of the balance of the moon, and the love and joy of Jupiter. Within that earth, it expands out into the entire galaxy. To infinity. As you feel this expansion and allow yourself to hold that frequency, sensing the oneness that exists in this action, you can know everything that comes to you that comes from a space of divine love. Everything that you do created from this space too, leading to a perpetual form of unconditional love. Now just gently bringing yourself, your energies gently back to you, intending that that frequency is sustained, bringing the parts of you back to your own aura, shrinking it right down gently. Come close into your space. A beautiful blue light of unconditional love shines out from you on all sides. A beautiful veil of emanating, loving protection. And as you feel your feet on the floor, and the warmth in your body, feel yourself in your own circle of love and light, your own disc, connected to your soul star chakra and your earth star chakra, the chakras above and below your head and feet. And just coming back into Gasho hands to close your session. And you can take that heart love into your now near, compact and robust, loving aura, sending it down to earth. The final steps, moving that energy through you, taking it around and sending it 3 times down to earth. And then coming back into the room and feeling more present in your physical self. So I hope that has uplifted you today, and I hope that you gain some understanding and insight into how you can process some of your emotions. Wishing you all a happy Christmas, and recognizing that this is us coming to the end of our year of solar expansion, expanding our souls to our highest potential. And just a reminder that we're at the full moon today, which means that in 2 weeks' time, we will be back in that yin energy of the new moon. And Nicole and I are having our new moon session where, again, we're going to lean deeply into these end of year frequencies to bring in a really powerful end, and that's on the 30th of December, so just 2 days before New Year's Eve, which again, as we know, is a really powerful time for bringing in and shifting into the new frequency. So that'll be a powerful reset opportunity. So do make sure that you tune into that. And that's going to launch us into Nicole and I's year-long program. It's very well priced. And that's going to be running once a month for whoever joins up, a very nice, lovely little select circle of people who are ready for some really deep expansion and to really lean into and learn to work in a really powerful way with our energy for that kind of magic creation and to shift our realities. So do message and stay tuned, watch my social media for that. Remember, when you're watching these videos, if you've enjoyed it, do just like it, share it, any of my social stuff, because it helps to spread that love to more people. And you know, that's the gift of giving, isn't it, at Christmas? So my intention for doing this and for taking this path is so very much everything that I do now, the options that I'm following for my self-expansion, in order to bring that frequency to as many people that need it as possible. And so, yeah, it's lovely to be able to share that and honor that energy and that frequency. So I shall say adieu, and I look forward to seeing you all next Monday. And I shall just stop the recording.